I'm Megan Kuhn with Powerhouse Real Estate, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about budgeting. This is something that's really important when you go into purchasing a new home, whether it's your first home or your next home. We want to make sure that you're following a budget and so that you're able to afford what you're purchasing, as well as all the other expenses that come into play when you're a homeowner or just an adult in general, because we all know how fun that is. So let's talk a little bit about what's included in your mortgage and then some other expenses that you need to plan for when you're working on a budget. In a typical mortgage payment, you're going to have obviously your principal mortgage amount and your interest that you're paying towards the mortgage. You're also going to have your insurance, your homeowner's insurance included in that, as well as property taxes. Those are all going to be included in your mortgage payment. The insurance and the property taxes are going to be put into kind of a savings account that will be paid at the end of the year by your lender. So those are all included in the purchase. Now, some things that are going to be separate from that are going to be your HOA. If you have an HOA at your property, they might include it in your payment when they're going through your loan documents because they have to make sure that you can afford it. However, it's not paid for with your mortgage. So you do have to pay that separately. So you want to make sure that you know where that's going, who it's being paid to, and don't miss any payments on that. You also need to plan for your utilities. So you're going to have power bill, you're going to have gas, which is your heat, you're going to have your water and trash and the city expenses there. That's all going to be billed separately from your mortgage as well. So you want to make sure that those things are all set up when you move into your new home, as well as that you budget for these things. Now, I have had people before, as they've purchased a new home, request these utility bills from the current owner before we get to closing so that they have an idea on what these costs are ahead of time. And you can definitely do that. That's something that we can do ahead of time. Those are going to be the costs that come with your home. Now, some other things that you definitely need to put in your budget are groceries and gas. Gas may change based on the location of your new home and where you're going to be traveling to. So you want to make sure that you have budgeted all of those things. You also want to make sure that you have a good buffer so that you have some money to save or some fun money to play with. So you want to make sure as you go through your budget that you understand what your maximum monthly payment looks like with everything accounted for, and so that you can have a little bit left over at the end when it comes to your home. Now, you definitely don't want to forget about groceries and fuel and all of those other expenses that come with your family. So make sure that you put together a budget and you understand what all of those expenses are ahead of time. This is a great thing to do before we start looking at homes so that you understand how much you can actually afford in a mortgage payment and still have some money left over so that you can have some money to play with, some money to invest, or to save for a rainy day. Because you also have to consider with homes the unexpected expenses like repairs, yard, all of those things that come with being a homeowner that will come up, and so you need to make sure that you plan for those. When it comes to budgeting, just make sure that you account for everything that you're spending. The easiest way to do it is to go through your last month's expenses and categorize everything and make sure that you can see where you're spending your money. And make sure that you and your spouse or partner are on the same page when it comes to your budget and what you're willing to spend on your next home. My name's Megan Kuhn with Powerhouse Real Estate.